Hi, welcome to 151 Garage. I'm Sean. This is Susan, and today we're going to work on her yet again. So you guys ever have that project that never seems to end, just continuous project? That's Susan. So a couple videos ago we worked on the bracket and getting the fuel line mounted up. I was talking about the fact that I didn't finish this side because I still needed the throttle cable and stuff like that. Well, I do have the throttle cable. Unfortunately, when I bought it, it didn't have the end on it that I needed, so I went ahead and ordered the end and replaced the end of what this throttle cable had with basically a ball joint or heim joint. I also, since I needed to run the fuel line through the bracket, I went ahead and bought a couple more fittings because Lord knows I didn't have enough. I didn't have the right ones, so I had to buy the ones that I thought were going to work. Again, I didn't know exactly how long they were and how they were going to set up, so I bought multiple different styles. Come to find out, I don't need these, all I need is these. So we'll work on that. We'll work on installing the throttle cable. Now I won't be installing the end basically that goes into the car or securing it that way. I will be putting the end that actually hooks onto the throttle itself. The other part I'll just wind up, zip tie it out of the way, keep it from getting damaged. I may take it off completely just to eliminate having to rebuy this if it gets messed up one way or another. But again, so let me show you what we've done. We've already marked it, and I'll show you here in just a second. So right here is the place where the throttle cable is going to go through. That's perfectly in line with this. Basically I ran a straight edge from here to here straight out the front, and that's where that dot is. And it's outside this way a little bit because that is going to bolt onto this side of this clevis right here. So that's marked. I just had to drill the hole. I also, you can't even see it, but there's two marks here, one for the center one way, one for the center the other, so I can center the hole for the fuel line that's going to go directly basically down right about where my finger is. So I'll drill that hole. It won't get in, it won't get won't be an issue because of this, because it will be out a little bit further. But after I drill those holes, I can kind of draw out where I want to cut, make it look nice, kind of like how this is. Then we can basically get it ready and bolt it up, see how everything works. Hopefully I don't have to do it again, knock on rust, and we'll see. So I'll use my old camera. I'll try to get some of the shots of me cutting it, stuff like that, how I do it, and the tools I use as well. Since I don't think I showed you the tools I used at the beginning, or the beginning of building the other one or the other side, I will do this one just so you guys know that I'm not a fabricator by any means. I've never claimed to be. I'm trying to do this with the tools, the limited tools that I have. Now granted, I could go out and have somebody fabricate one and all that, but again, it wouldn't be my car. It wouldn't be something that I built with my hands. It would be something I bought and had somebody else do. Also, that's way more expensive than I would like to. I would love to have somebody build a car for me and all I have to do is have fun and drive it. But my enjoyment is actually building the items for the car. Helps me get a little bit better at doing some of the stuff like the welding. God forbid my welding sucks. But again, I will get better eventually. But let's go ahead and cut to me cutting and drilling this, fabricating, and seeing exactly how everything fits together. So I'll go ahead and cut to that and see you in the shed, I guess. Okay, so I got the holes drilled for the bracket. I do have the hole drilled for here, which is basically where the throttle cable is going to sit through. So as you can see, it does fit. The nut goes on the other side, hold it together. I also drilled the hole for the fuel line fittings. So it does go through. I will have a nut on this side connected. So that is all done. I was going to try to mess around with cutting it out, cutting the shape out kind of like how it is over here on this side out in the shed, but I stopped for two reasons. One, it's hot as shit out in the shed right now, and two, it is raining, so I didn't want to have to run back and forth. It is going to start raining here shortly. I will do all this in a nice air-conditioned garage where it's nice and cool and dry. And when I get to the template that I actually like, because I'll make it out of paper and draw it out and see what I want, I will transfer it onto this and I will cut it out on this. I will show you how I cut it out. Basically, it's just an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel on it, and I smooth the edges out, these edges out right here on a bench sander. So nothing spectacular, no CNC machines, no plasma cutters, no nothing. It's not perfect by any means, but it's good for the tools I actually have. It makes me try to figure out what I need for the tools, or what I need to do with the tools I currently have without having to buy some. For instance, that hole is a little bit over a half an inch. A half an inch is the biggest drill bit I had. I got it to that point, and then I used a round file to file out the inside until this fit. It didn't take too long, but again, I didn't want to spend $40 for another drill bit that I may use once. I've never used a drill bit that big. That fits perfectly. Again, adapt and overcome. So we'll draw up this. I won't do it on camera, but I will draw up this. I will show you what I was thinking and how I want to cut it, or how I want it shaped. Make it look nice, kind of representing the other side as well, roundish side. This one's not going to be as tall. Obviously, it's almost in line with the cut right there. So it's just going to go up a little bit over and down. So simple, quick. We'll see. Okay. So I came up with basically the same type of design the other side. Same distance from the center of the hole out to the edge, same as this. Also, I rounded it off kind of this way to mimic this side. I also rounded off the bottom again to mimic the side over here. So I'll go out and cut it out. Hopefully it's not raining too bad, but I'll be able to cut it out, at least get it to the point where I can put it back on the car and try to get some shots, and I'll be back in a second. bracket's done, we actually got the fuel line through here, through the hole, gauge is on, everything's trimmed out, it's all in black. Again, I did this because optical illusion of different colors, making it look like it's off a little bit, edgewise. I do have the throttle cable installed, so you can see it's doubled up right here. I have to get a longer bolt, and I'll do that later on. But pan back a little bit. So throttle lever, you're basically a throttle cable, and if you pan up there, everything works just fine. And go back just a little bit more. You can see the whole mechanism working. None of this is really that tight because, again, I will be working on other parts of this. So as of right now, this is all done. So this would be the last time I really mess with it, other than when we do all the final sanding, final shaping of it is pretty close. Like I said, there are some issues, but I'm not going to worry about that because I'm going to be doing a lot of other stuff at the final bit before I get it powder coated black to match basically the tunnel ram and the tubes on the top, the intakes. But all this is done in a shed. Like I said before, it's not done on a CNC machine. It's not done with any kind of fabrication tools other than a giant hammer, a grinder with a cutoff wheel, and a bench sander. That's it. I wish I had the other stuff. Maybe one day I will, but yeah. Once I get sponsors, which again, I'm doing this because I want to show people that you don't have to have all that stuff to do it. You can, if you can think it, you can figure it out.
Then you can
do it. Yeah, challenge yourself, like she said in the last video. And again, hope you like it. Hope you try something new. I sure am. And hope to see you next video. Bye.
Bye.